Hey everyone, I'll be turning the camera on in just a minute. Just had a few last minute things here to take care of. Sorry, I really tried to be on time tonight, but gotta be me. My voice sounds like shit because I'm sick. I'm feeling a little bit better today, so yay, there's that. Hi, Mr. Black Wolf. Hi, GLB. Hi, Animal Lover. How's everyone doing this wonderful Saturday night? How was everyone's Thanksgiving? I hope it was well. It was uneventful except for good events. So mine was. All right, there we go. And let's see. Yeah, you can hear me too. Okay. Yours was great. Awesome. Yours was last month. Oh, I take it you're not in America. Hi, DC. Lord Terrell, member for 32 months. Thank you so much for your support this whole time. That's awesome. All right. So if anyone's curious about my memberships, I do offer memberships. I'll be for shout outs at the end of video uploads as opposed to live uploads. Maybe I should do them at the end of lives too. I didn't even think about that. Maybe I'll start doing that. But that's about all I offer at the moment. And it's also why I ask for a very, very small tier, as if I get more time in the future, I would like to offer more things and such, but I don't know. I think I'm just starting to come into my own a little bit here, because I haven't been talking about the whole with a crystal ball shit for a while, and it just made me realize, what am I doing with my channel? And and I was onto something. I think with the whole beginning of my channel when I was covering a lot of without a crystal ball, and it wasn't because of Katie Joy. But it was because of the shit that was happening and the stuff that people were witnessing and just those types of things. That's what I wanted to talk about. So when I myself look at my channel and think, what am I even doing with this? What's the point of this? And I feel like maybe it's not worth much. I have a hard time asking other people to put their money and faith into it, So I'm getting to a point where I'm really starting to kind of mold my channel and what it is. I want my presence on any platform to really be about, and it's more or less that. Especially things that I can relate to. And here comes the whole hidden true crime thing. Oh wait, I never turned my camera on. Okay, there you go. Hi. Like I said, I'm sick, so sorry. But here lies the whole hidden true crime thing and how I think I'm able to relate to that. Because of how shit has played out for myself over the past 2 years, which I'm not going to go into detail about because I don't even know why. I really don't care anymore. I don't care. I just don't even want to be a part of it anymore. But I think that's why I don't want to detail about it, because I don't want to be a part of it anymore. But I can absolutely relate to how it feels and how frustrating it is and how diminishing it is of an experience to go through when someone weaponizes the legal system against you and uses it to try to shut you up, to try to infringe on your rights. I mean, that, I don't know, that affects you. I think I've lived a very privileged life where I've never really had my speech impeded on, really, maybe a little bit, but nothing worth writing home about or anything, So I think I've lived a very lucky life like that. And I still feel incredibly privileged and lucky that this is all I really have to complain about for the most part. But it's still a complaint. It's still my life, and it's still something I'm going to talk about. So anyways, the audio's breaking up. Uh-oh. Let me see. It is. I'm skipping. There's not much I can do about that. That's the streaming software I'm using. Would be StreamYards. Because I have full internet. I have all 3 bars on my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi might suck, but my kitchen doesn't. So yeah, there's not. I don't know. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. I can try reloading the page, but I don't think that can make a difference. Is there anything I can close out? No, I don't really have anything else open. So I don't know. I can try. Well, no, I can't because I'll have to restart the stream if I do that. And OBS has been working for me lately. I think I got to re-download it or something. Okay, not bad. Not bad now. Okay, I'll try and talk slower because so that way if it breaks up, hopefully much gets lost in that second. Which is very difficult for me to do because my mouth just can't keep up with my brain, and if I have to slow my mouth down, then I slow down my brain. And then I just don't sound like I'm very smart. Which I may not be, I don't know. But anyway, let's go. So this was released, I don't know when it was released really, but the channel that has it is a channel called Dream Feed Media. At least that's where I found it. And it's the full video, Lauren Mathias via Boise Police Department body cam, July 23rd, 2025. And it's from 10:06 p.m. to 10:52 p.m. So here, let me put a link to them in the live chat so you guys can go and check out this channel, maybe throw them a subscription or check out, give them some views or something. Just something, say thank you for obtaining this, sharing this whole thing. Oh, I hit the one B. Okay. There we go. So that's the link to the channel that has the full body cam video that I'm going to be playing from. Oh, thank you, DC. I think you can cover anything. I enjoy the way you do it. You are fair and open-minded, just looking for truth and understanding. I think so. That's what I aimed for anyways. I mean, I'm human. I'm going to get down in the dirt with the rest of them every now and then. It's unavoidable. We're human, but I try not to, at least here. I'll say that for my personal life. Okay, so let me share this. And sorry, it is hot in here. I'm going to have to turn my fan on. You might hear it in the background because the microphone's, like, of course, placed right in front of it because I'm brilliant like that. So, but I have it on natural settings, so hopefully it won't be too annoying. Actually, I should probably listen to that and see how annoying it is. Sorry for that sharing. Before I go any further, I want to hear this fan. Okay, that is a little annoying. I'm sorry. I didn't think it would be. All right, I pause it. Okay, I'm going to turn the fan off and I'll live. Okay. There we go. All right, so like I said, this is, although this I played out, was this when she was served? When Christine was served, was that the Crime Con or whatever this was at? I can't remember. But this is from, like, this body cam footage was taken on July 23rd, 2025. That much I know. So, wait a minute. Damn it. Okay. Okay. Sorry. There, that's better. So yeah, that's when it was from. And I think that this might have been from the weekend when she was served. That's what it's from. Okay. Where was she when gave to Boise Police Department? Okay, so this followed or this preceded was at the same time of the police report. No, okay. This is a different incident. I think this was before she was served, maybe. Yeah. So this was before CrimeCon. So CrimeCon, I want to say was like was it maybe August? I think it was August, right around there, possibly of 2025. This was from July 23rd, 2025. So just to give you an idea on a time frame or whatever. No, this was from the Burger case, Christine Muir. Okay. All right, so here we go. So this is from the Burger case. I think this might have been the sentencing of him. I'm not positive on that, but it's from the case nonetheless, the trial. And Lauren evidently felt harassed or something like that while out to dinner. And she seemed to be really kind of like butthurt over not being given a seat or something earlier, which I covered that a little bit in my latest video there. We're doing the entitlement translator upload featuring Lauren Mathias. And yeah, she didn't, the chick could have talked to her about the seat. There was no cease and desist on the seat. It's just over something else. So I don't see what the big deal was. But anyway, I'm going to skip ahead to when the officer gets out of car, but before that, it's like logistics, trying to meet up and shit like that.
Sure. Yep.
Thank you for calling back, officer. I don't know what dispatch told you.
Okay. Sorry
so
about that.
I'll double tip you. We just need to wait here. We waited for an hour. I finally called because we're genuinely. I don't want to be too cocky that I think it could never happen to us. Like, who the hell cares? Like, just right. There is some concern that this cyberbullying is gone real life and is escalating to being approached at private dinners. So, anything you need to get.
I just gotta say, like, I'm sick right now. I can't take or smell anything, and it's been like that for 2 days. And I normally I think I'm a very good bartender, but you made a shitty drink when you can't taste anything. You taste and you make a face at it. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking with this thing. I don't know. I know it tastes like shit, but I can't taste it.
And honestly, I feel dumb. Like I feel dumb. Like I am even a true crime podcast, so I'm like, and my husband's a criminal psychologist, so I'm like, I don't want to call you guys when I don't want to be that thin. Like, call, help me. It'd be like, it's just getting kind of weird. Like it's just escalating, and the funny, so we lost. Like, I don't know. So
I don't want to be that person while I'm being that person. And I love how she said just getting herself. Like she knows herself. She knows how this looks. She knows it looks weird as fuck, but she's doing it anyway.
When I expect, that's when my producer and she's 24 and she's in tears. So like I'm 45. Like I'm like, okay, like I gotta care too. Like she's like, this is why people yeah, we haven't paid. I don't want them thinking I'm dining and dashing. Sure. Our waiters were super kind. So
dining and dashing. What is this? Like the 1950s dining and dashing? What the fuck? What?
Go get her and pay. Okay. And then that's where we know. What was your name, officer? Jacobson. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. I'll go get her. Yeah, she's
right. So this is the one thing I would say, and I don't know what's up in Arizona or the places that you've done things, but eventually somewhere you have to start with the red dot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which means, like, in the state of Idaho, there's no harassment. Unless they're doing telephonically, then there's harassment. So, this harassment that has much more to do with racism and those sort of things. That's something to be somewhere in the realm of stalking. But in order to get to stalking right now, it just be misdemeanor. It has to be repeated harassing and discriminating. So tonight we mark down one.
Who was she exactly trying to report for stalking her? Christine was in Europe.
Right in a bit, and I state contact searches. It's in dispatch. And tomorrow they do it again. They wake up, come down, arrest them for this move stalking.
Okay.
Because it's consistent something that they're doing.
Oh. Did you pay? So he knows we're not dying in dash. The officer, Sergeant, forgive me, Sergeant Jacobson, and he's sort of like to do, and you have to document, like I have it on video in Arizona too, because she approached, like I get so nervous around them, it's just start recording, and they actually, the reason why I take them out is I had the video of me just walking in and them approaching me again, and I said,
I don't get that, like people are allowed to approach if they have a question, especially in a professional setting like that. Like she's not out to lunch or something with her kid, you know, like she's there doing her quote unquote job, and her job consists of her being in public and talking with the public or being on display for the public, whatever. People are allowed to approach her, you know, in and of itself. If their approach of you becomes harassment or it makes you uncomfortable, then you can proceed. But the initial approach, though, is allowed to happen, right?
And threatened, and she came up, and you know.
And to be honest with you, like that might, like when was Arizona?
Ago? It was 1 month ago. You know, it's all these type of programs. The Lori Vallow, Chad Dable case there, or not Chad Dable. Chad Dable's here. No, and then we come here. We have taxes on the car because the Lori Vallow
following us states. Like the thing
and you
is,
can say that these are public trials, but they're trial tourists. I do it for my work. I'm actually the breadwinner in my family with my husband. You know, I don't have a choice.
Wait a minute. Wait, what?
they were filming me inside the courthouse and outside.
I thought Dr. John there had a job where he analyzed people or prisoners for the possibility of reoffending and shit. Like that doesn't pay well. She's the breadwinner for her family. Like that doesn't make sense. What's he a doctor? How is he utilizing his degree then if he's not working? Like seriously.
Took camera from my face and just ignored it.
So yeah, so some of this is for some stuff.
Yeah,
right.
Is the harassment / stalking? Again,
right.
I don't have the harassment code. I have a stalking code, which is as a for your
Could I record this?
Sure, yeah. It's repeated incidents that cause concern, right?
My server is aware that is member SUNPR.
No, that's not that. No, not one of them. Oh, was she with them? She might have been with them, but that is not who is coming up. Yeah, well, what was her name? But like, this was the witness too. Like, you saw.
Was that waiter trying to throw the CNN reporter under the bus or something there?
Yeah, there was a lady that came up and was kind of, I don't know if it was really harassing, but or, you know, just obviously being really uncomfortable.
Right. Sure.
But still,
yeah, like I was telling them, there's no real harassment code, but there's a stalking code, but it's got to be repeated.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I'm not sure if it be in Arizona and then happening here would possibly be an Idaho code.
Especially if the people who are parties in the case had this to be at the same location, like being they had the same type of business, you know? I mean,
influence of that behavior in Idaho to cause us to be able to arrest or to send jail for.
Yeah.
But there.
And what was your name? Matthew. That's your last name. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
come on.
My concern is just that, like, I'm not responding and they're escalating. Like, we
So
day
he's,
in, day
yeah,
out,
so
what
he's telling us.
next?
So he's telling us what to do.
So I would say, no matter where you go, like, you're either come back here or you're going to Arizona. Whenever they're doing something that's going to be confusing you, making you uncomfortable, being violent, assaulting, threats, those sort of things, call every single time. Especially if it's in the same jurisdiction, then you can document the fact in this jurisdiction, this person has done this many times.
Seriously, like, what were her actual complaints? What was her reasoning for calling? What happened for her to commit to the decision to call law enforcement that night? Like, does she say what it was that did it? Like, that pushed her too far or whatever? I mean, because it just sounds like she's still pissed off about the seat thing from earlier. That's what it sounds like. We'll get to that more.
You guys know true crime is kind of following that code.
Yeah.
You have to prove everything that's happening there. So I would call every time they're doing this. Now, there is a difference between harassment and kind of their free speech stuff, right? So they can follow you to a trial and hold a can of 3 feet to your face, and there's really not a whole lot that we can do about it. Happening all the time, people false around you, that sort of stuff, and there's nothing really we can do about it. It just kind of falls on that person in the section. However, if they're coming to your table, that's a different story, right? You're at work, you're not doing your thing, like they're coming to you personally, that's different. They're coming to your place of work, like say wherever you do your podcast or whatever news station you work for, and they're doing it there. That's a different story, right? So we're here, say you work at Channel 7 or whatever, and they kept coming to your place there. And
Channel 6,
Channel 6, but that'd be Netflix, I can't be Channel 7. And then they would come here, then I would definitely have the stalking code, right? Because they're following you around, continually causing harassment.
And we do have 2 of those. There are different jurisdictions. So we do have her approaching me in Arizona, and we have her approaching us here.
Right.
But yeah.
And if you want, you would work for the continuance of them harassing you and causing this stalking, I go, definitely check that out. If that's something you're interested in, or if you just want to go home and have the fact that you document on the phone, and if you talk with me, might go all the way up to.
Okay, and I just want to stop here though and comment on this next part, because I think for a good portion of this video coming up, yeah, he stays in the car, and they're talking to him through, it looks like, the passenger side window for a good portion of it. And I don't know, that it seems to me that just my own personal experience with police officers, either by first party or second party experience, whatever, that when they stay in the car like that, they're not, it's not an urgent situation. It's not even something that they're really going to put their entire attention or focus onto or whatever. When they get out of the car, then it's like, then it's a situation. So I feel like whenever a cop is sitting in the car and people are talking to the cop, like reporting something through the window, it's almost like he's just appeasing them. He's doing it to like give them like a void in which to bitch about something and then just drive off and forget about it. That's how it always reads to me anyways.
It might go up to the on-call prosecutor, but for misdemeanor stalking, can we consider something that happened in another state as part of the course of conduct for the repeated part? So, for instance, I have reporters here who are here for the Cobra case, the sentencing reporters, and there's a group of people who are following them around from state to state.
You can, unless it's already been tried.
They're in Arizona a month ago, in Maricopa County, doing a case, and these people know them and harass them there, and they were
bailiffs acknowledged it.
the bailiffs. You got to the point where the bailiffs had to kick them out of the courtroom because they were bothering these ladies so much. Well, those same people are here in town, and tonight they found them in a restaurant and approached them and were harassing them, doing a bunch of stuff. And to the point where even the waiters were like, "Yeah, we're gonna get them out of the restaurant, and you guys are here." And they called us.
That waiter walked up to them outside and was talking about some CNN reporter, and Lauren even said, no, she wasn't with them or whatever, or it wasn't that. So, I mean, the waiter did not come up to them and say, oh, yeah, no, it's true, we witnessed it too. That's not what I heard anyway.
Might happen.
I got it.
So my question is, if it happened in another state, can we put that as a continuance, like, for the misdemeanor stalking?
I don't know.
That's kind of what I was
I don't see why not, but I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I would think you couldn't do that unless it was like, unless it was already like adjudicated in that other state and there was a ruling on it, because you'd be asking a court in one state to basically rule on something involving activity from another state. you know, and I wouldn't think that could apply because there's no jurisdiction, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a fucking lawyer, though. What do I know?
Oh, the on-call prosecutor.
Yeah,
Just sounds
that's kind of what I thought you were gonna say.
Sorry, buddy. I just don't know. I mean, I don't see why not. But did they file a police report in Arizona?
No, they're not filed. This is the first time that they've filed a police report because last time they were at court and the bailiff kicked these people out. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. That's a new one. I don't know. That's the best for the prosecutor.
Okay.
shit is so stupid. He's never even heard of it before.
Maybe call back and get that number. Okay.
All right. Cool.
All right. Thanks, man.
But those are both about.
Well. So looking at the code right now. To stalking and the repeated aspect of the code, wondering if it would count if the first contact was in, say, Arizona, and the second contact was here.
There's even a voice message. Imagine being the person who received that voice message. Like, I don't care what you do for a living, especially in this field, though. If a colleague, if a work colleague was leaving that fucking message, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you calling me for this bullshit in the middle of the night? Like, no. Like, does anyone get paid enough for that shit? Like, for real.
Okay, so this is kind of what it says, just so you guys know. If a person engages in a course of conduct that seriously alarms, annoys, or harasses the victim, and is such as would cause a reasonable person substantially emotional distress, or engages in a course of conduct such as would cause a reasonable person to be in fear of death or physical injury, or in fear of the death or physical injury of a family or household member.
No.
So the part
most statutes, though, they'll have something very similar, like penned out for it, but then it will also follow it up with, so long as, you know, like this action or whatever does not infringe upon their First Amendment free speech rights. So yeah.
Right. The part I'm worried about is the course of conduct means separate course of conduct. So they after they do the main part, they do definitions. So in here it says, as used in this section, course of conduct means repeated acts of non-consensual contact involving the victim or a family or household member of the victims, provided, however, that constitutionally protected activities is not included within this definition.
Yeah,
there's another part that we have to kind of worry about is, are they going to consider, like, I guarantee they would consider the photographing and videoing, to consider that as constitutionally protected. So it just kind of depends, like, why did they get kicked out of the courtroom?
Well, they didn't keep, sorry, yeah, they were said to stay away from me. I have the video. So she approached me, but it was actually outside recording. I was walking into the courtroom and she followed me. She said, I got to talk to you. And I said, I don't want to talk to you. Like, let me leave. And then my camera went out. I have 2 videos. And as I turned it back on, I said, leave me alone. I'm feeling threatened. And she came at me. And
you're not
as I was
answering the
in the
question.
courtroom and came to the door, and I was like, leave me alone. There's also no recording in the courthouse on this TikTok bullying campaign. They played, they're filming me in the courthouse, putting my voice on TikTok, calling me a jackass. I'm like, not doing it. I'm just like, stay away. So she said to the bailiffs, look, what I requested from the bailiffs was just a request her to stay away from me. I was like, you just tell her to stay away from me.
Yeah.
So they were like, wow. And when they saw my videos, they're like, absolutely, she's approaching you. That's what they saw. They're like, you're trying to stay away. She's approaching you.
Right.
So there is a group of them.
But she didn't answer the question. The cop wanted to know why it is that they were asked to leave the courtroom back when this happened and wherever they were. Because that's what she said. She said that they had me asked by the bailiff to leave the courtroom there, to leave her alone because they wouldn't leave her alone. So he's asking, all this is really, from the sounds of it, it's going to come down to on why it is they were asked to leave you alone. Like, what were they doing? What was it they did to initiate that kind of response or reaction or whatever from the court personnel? And she just basically said, well, they weren't quite, they were asked to leave me alone. At my request. I asked them to tell them to leave me alone. So, bullshit.
Day, that same woman was videotaping me. They're all together. Her name was Jenny Summers. Janeese Summers. So she's the one that bailiffs like, stay away from her. Her little group of people is Lori Day, Lori Day, and so then while she's filming me and flipping me off on the street, again, constitutionally protected, although it is harassment and it makes me nervous. Because I'm like, why are you here? Her friends, Sarah Perry and Lori Day, approach our table all of them are involved in this TikTok smear campaign with me as well. But they all comment. It's like a group effort. It's very, it's a very united group of people. And so then they approached me. I have a cease and desist on another friend. She was there, but she stayed away because of the cease and desist. And so I have 2 videos. So I got another video of them approached me at the table, and it was by accident. I didn't know. I was just filming Ginny Summers because she's filming me and flipping me off on the table. So I have my camera set up for recording. They don't know. And then her friends come out and approach our table, and I'm saying, leave me alone, get away. The waiter saw, like, please leave. And I have both videos now of just that. And those are the times I've captured.
Right.
But, like, yes.
Right.
Okay, so I'm reading my comments here. And Inner Psychic says, this is hours after the seat thing, then the restaurant thing, where the ladies were trying to explain to Lauren not to talk to Lindsay after she sent Lindsay a cease and desist. It's just a way for Lauren to get shit on record to further her restraining order. And I fully believe that. Because, I mean, this is exactly what it looks like when someone's trying to weaponize the legal system. They themselves will do the thing that they hurry up and run and report to police, So basically, these women were telling Lauren, listen, you already harassed her online with this fucking bullshit cease and desist. Leave her alone. Don't keep coming at her. Don't keep coming trying to talk to her. Get the fuck away. So what does Lauren do? Lauren hurries up and calls the police and says, they're harassing me. That's what they do. And the reason why the person who's really, truly being harassed doesn't think to fucking call first or whatever, because they're not plotting and scheming. They don't want to call. They don't want to go to court. They don't want to go through all this bullshit. They just want to be left the fuck alone. That's why people who, in my opinion anyways, people who really are victims of these things, they don't see this coming. They don't see what it is they have to do to protect themselves because they're not thinking fucked up shit like the other person is. That's the problem. To beat your enemy, you have to think like your enemy. Well, how the fuck do you do that when you're just not as fucked up as your enemy? So, my opinion, whatever.
Okay. And has that only happened to you, or is this the second time it's happened to you as well? So are they affecting you as well?
And the second one was us.
Husband.
And then she continues, as you say, she intimidates. She films us wherever we go, but it is, I'm in the court.
See, that's another thing I find too. Like, the person who's trying to weaponize the legal system will oftentimes add in words and sentences. They don't just explain the events that happen. They create a whole picture, imagery of it. Like she's saying here, that's how she intimidates. This is what she does. This is why she does it. She does it because she wants to scare. They're adding their own fucking narrative, their own intent and everything behind it. When most people don't know. Like if someone won't leave me alone, I don't know why the fuck that is. If I were asked, I could maybe, I could speculate, but I'm not about to sit here and tell my story to a cop and say, I know why she's doing it. Unless I am so fucking totally obsessed with the other person that I'm just constantly thinking about what they're thinking about. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like if you're telling a story and you are able to add all of this extra to it, then maybe you're thinking too much, too often about the other person. My opinion.
Today, I don't know if you've ever been in the commissioner room. They have 2 rows of chairs, and I'm standing in the front row. She's sitting in the second row, literally putting a camera in my face. And I actually took out my phone, but my concern is I don't care if you film me. But when I don't respond to you filming me, and then you come up to me at dinner, what's next? Like, this is where I'm fearing.
What's next? What is next? Will you look at me when I'm leaving the restaurant? Like you came up to me while I was eating dinner. It's not like she showed up on your fucking doorstep. It wasn't even the city you live in, I'm guessing.
Fearful for my safety that I can't go to work.
They said one thing that was actually kind of interesting because we make the decision to not engage. My husband's a criminal psychologist. I'm like, we don't want this. We don't respond. We don't respond to the TikTok cyberbullying.
We make the decision not to engage. I mean, it's incredible how a bunch of people with no media presence over their head directing them where to go and what to cover and what kind of information to get to present for the masses. When they're doing this all on their own, okay? When they go to these trials And they do so claiming to care about these victims and everything, claim to care about seeing justice served or whatever. When they go to these trials and they then turn it into a fucking circus involving them in the first fucking ring of the 3 rings or whatever, completely all about them, to the point where they then are now having are causing the creation of future court appearances for them over this shit. You're seeking it out, man. You're making it all about you. You are making yourself the first person in somebody else's trauma.
Response, anything. And so she said one thing that was telling. She's like, "Don't keep pretending that nothing's wrong. I'm not doing anything."
Can you guys give us a little background?
Like, almost like. So she said one thing that was telling. She's like, "Don't keep pretending that nothing's wrong."
She approached her team today, like almost. Has she approached her team, or is she approached you? So she was talking to her team.
They're escalating, literally, because I'm not doing anything.
Can you guys give us a little background of why they decided to pick you guys?
Yes. So
here we go.
Used to be a producer before Grayson was.
Okay.
Together the previous True Crime podcast. We fired, and her friends did contract work for us, did graphic design for us, and this.
And don't tell me that you don't fucking seek this shit out when you use personal relationships to employ people for your channel, and then you just discard them like nothing because you're no longer friends with them or you have a falling out. You are absolutely, you're causing this. You're loving it. You don't care either. I mean, you're not keeping shit separate. You're not. So if you keep mashing your professional with the personal, then it's because you don't see any boundaries there. You don't see the line between the two, and you're fine with that.
Woman,
in my opinion.
Woman who never did contract work for us, but I have considered her a bully, and before I fired, shared that I felt she was a bully. So after I no longer am using them, they team up with, say to her, "Lauren's been calling you a bully. She thinks you're a bully," and it's like this group thing, and so this group comes together. The other one, I don't even know her. A group of mean girls. So there are 2, a past employee and a contract worker for graphic design, and
think about all this interaction that occurred for her to get to the point of calling cops. She sent out the cease and desist. She approached them in the courtroom over this fucking seat or whatever in the gallery. She's doing the approach. She's doing it. She employed these people. She fired these people. Nobody else has done anything. They're just like along for the ride, and she's giving them one hell of a ride, and then she's bitching at them over like her fucking whiplash from her ride.
A woman that's friends with them, and then let her know I
My
told
opinion.
her. I've actually always been kind to all of them, actually. There's no always, even said you've always been kind to Lindsay. Yeah, there's no history of my being cruel to them, but they decided to get this day. Lauren thinks you're a bully. They're angry that Grayson replaced them, and I believe that they've possibly been told lies. I wish I knew. On the TikTok smear, they're like, "We're going to tell you our stories about her and how bad she is," and like, there's nothing. None of the truth. My brother died 2 months ago of an accident, and they said I was going to rape my brother to have his baby. Like, that's not.
My opinion, yeah, that was a bit fucked up. I mean, I'm not judging anyone for having said that, really, and I get it. They had every right to share that story, and even in the manner in which they shared it, I'm not saying they didn't have a right to do it. Again, I'm going to say just because you have a right to do something doesn't make it the right thing to do. But I also don't know what kind of, I don't know, what damages they were dealing with themselves over this bullshit. So I don't know. I'm sure it made sense to them at the time, and I don't doubt that. I don't fault that. But as an outsider looking in, that's the one thing I can kind of fault on the side of Christina's sharing all that shit. Because it's fucked up. It is. I'm not going to say it's not. It's fucked up. But like I said before, Lauren was also grieving the loss of her brother. She was grieving. People say some fucked up things when they're grieving. People are desperate to hold on to the person that they're losing. People are just desperate when they're grieving. I don't know. I think she should be given a little bit of a pass for that because of how she was grieving, my opinion. I know people probably won't agree, and that's fine.
Outlandish stuff.
They approached me today. This was telling, though. I didn't know this. They approached me today. They're upset that I was looking for a seat in the press conference today for Coburger. I was like, trying to find a seat. Is this seat taken? Is this seat taken? They're like, what are you doing? Like, leave something. It had nothing to do with you guys. Like, there are only 2 rows of seats. I'm looking for seats. And they did approach me at the table today and said, you sent Lindsay a cease and desist. Oh, so Lindsay got a cease and desist because of like, and so we're standing up for our friend. And you have the police call for like this.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
Hey, Kim, what's up? Hey, yeah, quick question. I have some reporters from
He called the reporters. Why?
One of the Coburger case. They've had some, I guess, trial tourists, is what you call them, some TikTok people who have been following them.
Trial tourists. Oh my God! I think that was probably the most politically correct way to say groupies, in my opinion. And I get it. I'm not saying everyone who travels around and sees these things is a groupie. I'm not saying that. I kind of think, in my opinion, Lauren Mathias might be a little bit though.
Different states on big cases. The last instance was about a month ago in Arizona. They had a big case down there. These subjects were, for lack of a better word, harassing and bullying them in a courtroom so bad that the bailiff was all like, hey, yeah, you guys don't get to talk to these people anymore. Didn't kick them out of the court, but wouldn't let them get close to the 2 subjects I have with me right now. They're here for the Coburger case. The same people came to the case today. Were holding cameras in their face in the courtroom, which is probably constitutionally protected. But then they're out having dinner tonight. Same subjects. Find them at dinner. Were they having dinner at the same place and just randomly found you, or?
I think maybe.
Yeah, it's probably.
Oh, so and Grayson even comes up with the answer. I think, yeah, maybe that's what happened. They just happened to find them and happened to be at the same place eating dinner. It's not even like they sought them out or they heard that they were there and went there just to see, Okay.
Yeah, it's possible that they follow them, but that's unknown. But they find them at the same restaurant, start harassing them, yelling at them, flipping them off, coming up to their table, to the point where
flipping them off.
The waiters and waitresses let these 2 people stay until those people left and were long gone because they were worried about them. Those people left and then set across the street. So, and we're watching them to see if they come out for about an hour until they finally called us. So my big question here is 2 things in reference to the misdemeanor stalking. Number 1, if something happened in a different state, would that, even if it was a month ago, would that constitute part of the course of conduct? Or would it have to all be here if we were doing it here? That's the number 1 question. And then the second question is, like, some of this is constitutionally protected because they're just taking video of these people in the court. But the yelling and screaming at them and making TikToks of them is probably not. So just kind of want to know if we can hold those 2 things up with ours. What's your thoughts on that? Right. And that's the only thing that happened. The only thing that happened in the court today was the videotaping, right? Yeah, the only thing that happened in the court today is the videotaping. And I told them that
They
was...
yelled at her.
Well, they
yelled at her. They yelled at
you.
Are you kidding? What, they scolded you or something? They yelled at you? Like, you're... Okay, what does that say? 22:33, so it's like, what, 10:30 around there? You're bothering a police officer at 10:30 p.m. in Boise, Idaho, because someone yelled at you hours prior in the courtroom? Why didn't you enlist the help of one of the, I don't know, any one of the law enforcement on staff there at the courtroom at the time? If it was that concerning, I don't.
Yeah, they yelled at me in the press conference. I was looking for a seat. They're like, leave her alone. You said her cease and desist. I just walked away. Didn't say anything. Walked away.
So one of the people, one of my victims here, sent a cease and desist letter to, and so they yelled at her about defaming them. So they yelled at her in reference to that today.
See, that's right there. That's where this all comes down to. She filed the TRO because she didn't want to go through the cost and the bullshit and everything of trying to argue a defamation case, because that's going to cost her some big money, and well, wow. And that's what I feel like a lot of people on social media are doing is, instead of like trying a case in the appropriate venue, like a defamation case, they instead are going down the route of a TRO, thinking, well, I'll just get him to stop talking about me in general and just say it's harassing instead of defaming. And this is where I think the courts really need to up their game here, because there's a big, huge difference between defamation and harassment, especially when the person who's being accused of the harassment or the defamation is doing it by and large as a response or a reply to the petitioning party. You know, I mean, it's, in other words, it's being instigated.
Then she just left. And then other than that, it was just a videotape at the court. Right. 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 Uh-huh. Okay.
Oh shit. I'm sorry, I just saw that now. Jill B, member for 16 months. I keep hitting my microphone. Members for 16 months, Jill B. Lord Trill, yay, hi. Thank you for your support all this while.
Right. So they should the courthouse be protected, but the court's conduct would work in Arizona if I could show that it wasn't constitutionally protected stuff going on at the courthouse down there. Okay. All right. That's what I need to know. Thank you very much. All right. Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Okay. You can get that?
What?
Did you kind of get what I was saying?
Kind of.
Good.
She can
That works. So, the conduct of the courthouse today is constitutionally protected, right? In reference to the videotaping. Them yelling at you, and according to our on-call prosecutor, them yelling at you with the cease and desist is more of a civil issue. They would have to deal with the cease and desist letter and whether it involves them or not. However, whatever happened in Arizona and what happened tonight can be considered the course of conduct, right? So just because it happened in Arizona doesn't negate it from us working here in that course of conduct area.
Okay.
With that being said, I need to know a little bit more of what happened in the courtroom in Arizona, because it's similar to the things that happened today, then that would be constitutionally protected. And so the only thing I would have then is tonight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So tell me more about what happened in the court in Arizona.
Okay, perfect. Can you? I'm going to stop recording for a while to show them stuff. So can you? Yeah. So for our records, thank you. So I'll pull up. So this is like, I just like, here's one example. I'm like, oh great, like here they come. So it starts with this. This is them. There's two separate videos because I was nervous and I stopped recording. So I just saw her. And I was on the phone with my husband. I was like, oh, I'm going to hang up and just record while I walk into the courthouse. So I'm walking to the courthouse.
So there was recording allowed in this courthouse? Is that what she's saying? Because I don't know. I kind of feel like the majority of courthouses don't really allow for that inside the courthouse unless it's like their own recording. I could be wrong. I don't know.
So I'm just holding my phone down. And that's her. In the white. So I'm walking in right there. She's approaching me.
Are you recording me? Please don't.
So I just go, please don't, like, and it cut. So, but this is seconds later.
Please do not talk to me.
Right. Oh my God.
Please do not talk to me. I feel threatened.
So she's approaching me. I never approach them. So I was like, I think you're bully. Please stay away. Because I know that's what they're telling me. I can play both for you.
Please do not talk
Like, I'm in the courthouse, and there's also no recording. I know I can't.
Please do not talk to me. I feel threatened.
So she follows me all the way in. So unfortunately, I stopped and started. Let's stay away from each other.
This, I don't understand this. How is it that someone can sit there and not be embarrassed to say this shit to someone, anyone, especially someone in authority, though? Like someone, I mean, I don't know. I just think you come across as a real coward if you run your mouth when the camera's not on. And then when someone has the opportunity to say, hey, what was that about? You turn the camera on and then you sit there and say, don't talk to me. I feel threatened. Don't ask me what I meant. Don't ask me why I was talking shit about. Don't ask me about my actions. I feel threatened. I feel threatened. If every time someone wants to approach you and just ask you about something you said or did involving them, if every time that happens, you have to say, I feel threatened, well, then I have to kind of make the argument that you're only a threat to yourself, or you're the only person who's a threat to you is yourself, really. I think is how I want to word that. Because you're just kind of a pussy, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion.
Then this is tonight. So this full video is 8 minutes because I started recording for the other girl, but like I cut this in order to send 2 minutes of this video. So this is us just hanging out, and they approach, and unfortunately you don't get faces. It's a little. Oh, there's Ashley Banfield talking about them. Okay. So that's the and then she proved she was by just the opposite. Let's see. Let's be crying.
I'm gonna slide back.
I might not send you the right video. I have it right here. Oh, this is it.
I gotta give Grayson some props though, rocking the horizontal stripes like that and shit. I wouldn't have the guts to do that, but it looks good on her, I think.
So we're just hanging out. I don't know that they're about to come, so there they are. Not her, but everyone behind her. So at her table. So we're saying, do not give them hair. Okay, there. No, so you can't see this woman talking. That is actually someone covering. Then her other two friends is a with them approach me yet. And then this is so and says today you about the cease and desist you approach it like so we're just I'm telling Grayson, look at them here and then they show up.
Can you imagine what junior high would have been like if we had the ability to just call the cops whenever someone pissed us off or said something shitty about us? I mean, there would be like evidence lockers just jam-packed full of fucking slam books, right? It's crazy. I can't imagine calling the cops over this bullshit. I really fucking can't.
I was asking about a seat. I walked away.
As you can see, though, it sounds like she's not even saying just stay away from me, leave me alone, or that she walked away and ignored him. She's participating with the conversation. She's discussing the situation back with them. That by her doing that, she's more or less given permission for that discussion to continue because she's giving that permission every time she offers something to it.
I haven't done anything. I will stand by that forever. Yeah, I have nothing to do with you guys. I have nothing to do with you. A cease and desist is a legal business. I have nothing to do with you guys. What did I say?
Now she's asking questions. It sounds like that's Lauren anyways. I'm assuming it is. She's asking questions of the other party of that conversation. What did I do? What did they do? So now she's asking for them to continue participating in this discussion with her.
Cease and desist. Why would you want to go to that? I asked,
At some point, do you think we see the look on Lauren's face when she's listening to this and she realizes just where she is in life at that moment? She's standing outside of, I don't know, a cute little quaint city there in Boise, wherever. Was it Idaho? I think it's Idaho. She's standing outside there at 10:30 at night. It looks like there's a lot of people out. She could be having a great time in any one of the taverns or restaurants or bars around her. Instead, she's sitting there playing this fucking bullshit for a police officer. Crying harassment. Like, at what point do you sit there and think, maybe I'm trying a little too hard to control what other people say, do, and think about me? Maybe I should realize that I can't do that, and nor should I be given the right to do that. Maybe I should just realize that there's a million other things I could be doing right now that would just give me happiness in this moment. But no.
I don't know you. Yeah, you know me. You don't know me. I have your phone number because I wanted to get eyelash extensions, but we've never hung out. I don't know you. So could you please get away from our table because you're making me uncomfortable? I don't know you. Press conference. I don't approach you guys when we're all hanging out together. You guys, I know. So you're approaching me while I try to have dinner.
What does that mean? I don't approach you guys when we're all hanging out together? What?
You at a press conference about a secret. She's bothering us. You should tell her to leave us alone. I don't know her. I've never communicated with her.
Sorry, moving on why that's not a thing.
So it's sort of this group. They actually have they call themselves the Seven Gatherers. Show them who they are. Show the Jackass video. Like, there's a full like.
What would that matter? They call themselves the Seven Gatherers, whatever the fuck he said. What does that matter? That has nothing to do with her, right? It has nothing to do with Lauren. That shouldn't be anything that constitutes harassment, right? Why? That just seems kind of personal to me.
Okay. To show, like, this is them. So they have this TikTok. It's like they're escalating. Cyberbullying is one thing. It's gone from like cyberbullying to like now it's getting. That's the girl who approached tonight at dinner. So that's a picture of me at a trial. No, this one. And then this one. And so when I walked out of the restaurant, I was one who said, "Hey, they're there," because I walked out to call somebody because I felt so unsafe and sat up from her table, and I was holy shit. And so I kind of like put my phone up, like I'm on the phone, like do not approach me. Mm-hmm. But then just show up. Got her number once at trial. The eyelash extension. The woman is the face of most of the TikToks in Europe right now, we think. But all of them, they're the ones who comment, they're the ones in pictures. And then there was one more that was, here's one where they filmed you. Did I post it for real? You're not allowed to film in the courthouse in Arizona. During their filming her. So they keep doing it. Like, we do not approach them. We do not talk to them. Like, we have like completely avoided. Like, I work back.
We don't approach them. We instead send them cease and desist letters over probably bullshit. I don't know. I be honest, I don't know, but probably. We then go to them and ask them for a seat, and then when they do approach us, we engage back and ask questions in return in response. But we do not approach them. I mean, come on.
Anything. I don't have other people approach them because that's what they're trying to do too. Is like get their friends to approach me. I don't approach them. I tell her, what do I tell you? You said, don't give them air. Before you hear me recording them, don't give them air. Leave them alone. Don't talk to them. And it's like they're looking for anything. Like, you asked for a chair in the press conference. I'm like,
so it sounded to me like earlier in this video here, Lauren was kind of blaming them for being like almost like they were purposely within her presence talking about her in the third person, but without saying her name. But maybe they were, maybe they weren't. But that's effectively what she just admitted to doing. They're right around here in her presence, and she's, according to Lauren's own testimony here, or whatever statement here, she said to Grayson, "Don't give them air. Just don't give them air." Like, you can't be that scared for your safety if that's what you're saying before they even said anything to you.
Dude, like it's almost like they're looking for something to like say I'm like doing like I think it's almost driving them crazy that we don't do anything.
It is because she said stop acting like everything's fine.
Yeah, she actually said that on the video. Stop acting like everything's fine. And then you asked about this chair at the press conference. I'm like, fuck. Like, sorry. Like,
It'll be okay.
like, I just, you know, we don't. I say don't give them air. Don't talk to them. My husband's the same thing. Like they're clearly having other people protest. I'm like, just leave them alone. We don't do drama. This is their drama. This is their issue. And it's just me climbing up to me.
So
It's their drama. Lauren doesn't do drama, whatever.
And yeah,
But Lauren's the one who's creating all this drama. She's the one who's creating the court's involvement, who's the reason for any court dates that are scheduled and any appearances. But she doesn't do drama. She's the one who's turning in the coverage of one case into a case all about her. But she doesn't do drama. I mean, if these people really were like harassing her, like like if they were sending her messages, if they were telling her like you better hope I don't see you there, I'll kick your ass or some shit, and then they show up there, if they're like hanging out outside of her hotel room or some shit, I mean, there are things that they could be doing that could absolutely be considered harassing, absolutely. But if what they're doing is considered harassment, then what Lauren's doing is also considered harassment. Would it not be? Because it's very much the same. It's not like they're all over there trying to one-up each other. They're just both being pains in each other's asses. That's not harassment, though.
I'm afraid of for our safety. Like I've got my producer crying. Like
I don't even know how to get like a refusal. Stay away from me. Don't show up where I'm at. Leave me alone. You're making me feel physically scared for my life and my safety.
okay, so this is what I'm going to say. There is a lot here, like a whole bunch, and I did not do it justice just by typing the report out. So what I'm going to have you do is, if you could take some time and have you write it out. Okay, I'm going to write a report in reference to this, so you have the report number always. Do I know? And I'm before the prosecutors. Do I know if we have PC at this point, just like probable cause for them to be arrested here? Yeah, I don't know. Because although you have substantial contacts with them, this particular contact was, I mean, I see how it would be scary and nerve-wracking, but from another person's perspective, maybe it is, maybe it's not. Because they're just hey, why did you talk to them? But with your course of conduct and all the things you guys have been through, which I'm only giving bits and pieces of it at this point, you may get there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys write everything out, including their names, and if they have phone numbers, I'm going to have you put them on here, if you have those, so that I can contact them as well, because I can't just do one side, right? All right, like everything you told me, we'll put it down there, listen to the prosecutor, and see what the prosecutor has to say. Either way, this gives you a report number, so they continue this court in Arizona. You can say, hey, Boise has a police report of what has already happened. You can look it up there, and if it I don't know what the code is down in Arizona, but it's probably something similar, I guess. You guys going to write that up for me?
yes,
So it may take you some time. Well, I can't do what I was going to do tonight, so I can hang out. And if not, I can also give you my phone number so that you guys can just text me real quick and say, hey, it's gone. I can come pick it up.
okay. In other words, you're off your.
No, I was supposed to go deal with the complaint, but it's probably too late to call that guy right now.
Okay.
But if I get called, I'll stay here.
So you're, and if you don't finish,
But if I get called to something that's more emergent, like say there's an active shooter down the road, well, I don't have to go, then you guys can text me.
as someone that was once in the news, I get it.
Oh my God.
So sounds good. Let me get it to you. And I'll pull the report number right now.
Okay.
So that you guys know it's full release.
I know I'm sniffling a lot, and I know that's going to annoy some people. I apologize. I really am sick, though. It's not much I can do about it, so I'm sorry. I'm trying not to.
Oh, I also have an email. So the woman that did the TikTok, she kept approaching me, and I wrote her an email. She wrote me an email, and I said, "Are you going to come to my house next? I feel threatened."
Did you hear that? All right, so
I also not an email. The woman that did the
I
TikTok.
also have an email to the women that did the TikTok.
She kept approaching me.
She kept approaching me, and
She wrote me an
she
email.
kept approaching me, and I wrote her an email. And she wrote me an email.
I said, "Are you going to come to my house next?" I
And
feel
said,
threatened.
"Are you going to come to my house next? I feel threatened." Oh my God.
Please don't ever reach out to me again. And then she started the TikTok account. It's like they just.
Right. When you're done with this, I'm going to give
Oh, you said that for her to not reach out to you ever again. So you cut off all communications, thus giving her no avenue or whatever to air her grievances. So she then found another avenue, and she still protected your identity on this avenue. But, well, you made sure to blow all that shit up now, didn't you? You made sure that everyone knew who it was about, although I think most people would have figured it out, I'll be honest. But still.
give you a link that you can download all of your videos and to write the evidence.
Perfect.
So that it's squared away. It's a timely link. So when you write it goes out, right? So you can make it done quick. I'm not sure if you can put that email in, but try.
Okay, the email too.
Okay, all right. So find a chair somewhere, write out. I'll hang out until
and then just in case we do,
the number
have
I called you on.
okay, it was no caller ID.
Oh, I see.
It happens.
All right. Here.
Here,
Give me some. Just
don't do that. Oh.
you know what I'm
It sounded like he was saying, just call me on the number I called you on or whatever. And she's like, oh, but no, it said no caller ID. He's like, yeah, that happens. Not like, here, let me give you the number.
There you go.
Thank you. And then
Hang on.
This is just one of those stupid little things I'm curious about. Whose pen was that? Did it start off being his pen or start off being her pen? Like, is she saying, I don't have a pen to write my report here for you, even though I'm a journalist, as she claims? Or was that her pen and she's not willing to share it? I'm just curious. That's the end of that. Let me pause that. Let me go over here. Because they ended up writing out a report, and it looks like it's all redacted. There's a shitload of redaction on it anyways. The link to this report is in the video description here, right here. It says, this longer uninterrupted body cam footage preceded the written statements Lauren Mathias and producer Grayson gave to the Boise PD on the same date available here. So that's the link, and here's where it leads to. Just gonna read it real quick. Oops, wrong one. Okay. So for this, I'm going to turn my camera off because I've worn my glasses and it makes me look all fucked up. Okay. It says Boise Police Department General Report, yada yada. I'm not reading all over this shit. Stalking charges, stalking second degree misdemeanor. I was contacted by Redacted and Redacted at the Bitter Creek Ale House on 8th Street on the above date. Okay, yada yada. So-and-so have engaged in a course of conduct since April of 2025 until the present has caused her great alarm and fear. She advised that she had a falling out with Redacted and Redacted, or with Redacted, who at one time was her colleague. Since then, she was approached and harassed by Redacted in Arizona at a courthouse and had to have the bailiffs tell Redacted to leave her alone. All of the females have made TikToks disparaging Redacted and quote-unquote cyberbullying her. On 7/23, Redacted asked for a seat in the press area of the Kohlberger trial, and Redacted started to yell at her. Later in the evening, Redacted and Redacted were eating at the Bitter Creek Ale House. They were approached by Redacted and Redacted, who were harassing them and trying to intimidate them. Redacted and Redacted were asked to leave by the staff. Redacted provided me with videos of 2 different incidents, including the incident at Bitter Creek Ale House. I did not see any intimidating or threatening behavior in the videos. I love that. I love that he included that. I contacted 3 of the females, and they all advised me that Redacted had contacted them several times, and the incidents have been back and forth. So all this shit, whatever. Initial response contact. On the above date and time, I was working with a sergeant for the Boise Police Department in full uniform and in a marked patrol vehicle. While working, I self-assigned to a harassment call at Bitter Creek Ale House, located, etc. When I arrived, I spoke with the calling party, Redacted, via telephone. Redacted advised me that a group of females she is familiar with followed her to the Bitter Creek Ale House and confronted her. Redacted advised that this group of females has been harassing her, creating TikToks about her, and bullying her since April of 2025. The only action that is included in this claim is they created TikTok. That's it. TikToks. Redacted advised that she used to work with a female named Redacted. Redacted was her producer, and last year they split ways. When they split ways, Redacted made a comment that Redacted was a bully. According to Redacted, it just sounds so funny, keep saying that over and over again. Since the time, is this, I think they might say, I don't know who it is. I don't want to say the name though, just in case. So-and-so and her friends had been harassing her. Caller, I'm going to just say caller when I think it's about, or when I think it's not Christine, Lauren. Lauren said, or caller said that they are making TikToks about her, cyberbullying her, and contacting her in various locations. She advised on April 9, 2025, inside the Maricopa County Courthouse, a female by the name of Redacted approached caller about hurt feelings. She recorded Redacted and their private conversation in an area their recording was not allowed. Caller texted with Redacted to not share her private conversation. This turned into a back and forth battle via text and emails. On April 15th, so-and-so approached caller to speak with her at the courthouse in Arizona. Redacted advised Redacted that she did not want to talk to her. Caller advised Redacted that she did not want to talk to her. Due to her actions, caller was concerned enough that she advised the bailiff at the courthouse of Redacted's actions. The bailiff at that time contacted Redacted and advised her to not speak with caller any further. Caller said that after that contact, they made more TikToks about her and have even made comments that Redacted or caller wanted to are her own brother. Caller said that everywhere she goes, they will videotape her and harass her. Caller advised that it got bad enough that she sent a cease and desist letter to one of them. On this date, 7/23, caller arrived at the Koberger trial sentencing. When she arrived, several of these females, including Redacted, were also present. Due to the small amount of seating, caller attempted to find a seat, and the only seats that were available were close to Redacted. She asked Redacted if she could sit near her, at which time Redacted, who was a friend of Redacted, told caller to stop speaking to Redacted because she had already sent her the cease and desist letter. Later in the evening, around 2300 hours, caller was at the Bitter Creek Ale House. At this time, she was having dinner with her new producer, Redacted. While there, they noticed that Redacted was filming them from outside of the restaurant, and she flipped them off. Caller felt uncomfortable. I bet. Yeah, I could see that. So she began filming as well. They were then contacted by Redacted, who came up from behind them. According to caller, Redacted started yelling at them and was trying to intimidate them. She was speaking with them about the many confrontations they've had over the last few months. Eventually, sorry, my things freezes up from time to time. Okay. Eventually, the waiter came over and asked Redacted to leave. They walked away and they went across the street to a restaurant and stayed there for approximately an hour. Caller believed that they were staying there so that they could confront them when they left the restaurant. At that time, she called the police department because she felt uncomfortable and wanted an escort to her vehicle. I also spoke with Redacted. I also spoke with Redacted. She advised me that she was aware of the situation and that she also had been filmed at the Koberger trial. She said that Redacted was filming her and putting a camera close to her face at the trial. Caller, maybe, was concerned by this action but ignored her. Caller noticed that Redacted was filming her and Redacted while they were sitting at the restaurant, and then also advised that, I don't know, so-and-so spoke with them. She also advised that the females were sitting across the street at a restaurant. She was also very concerned and fearful for her safety, which is why both her and Caller decided to call the police department. When I looked at Caller, I could see that her face was flushed and she was shaking slightly. She was also darting her eyes around 8th Street, trying to look for this group of women. And so she was looking all around to see so she could point them out, to the officer that they were still there watching her, but she couldn't find them. Almost like they weren't, in fact, watching her and stalking her, maybe? My opinion. I also spoke with Redacted. She advised me that she did not speak with Redacted at the restaurant, but was only there to speak with them about contacting Redacted at the courthouse and just wanted to know why they had done it. She was not attempting to be confrontational or intimidating. Once they were asked to leave, she left immediately. Redacted also advised that it has been Caller who has come up to them many times and has attempted to continue contact with them. She said it has been back and forth between the subjects and not one-sided at all. I believe that. I also spoke with Redacted, and she said that on this date, she went with Redacted at the restaurant to speak with Redacted. However, was the one who was speaking with Redacted. Once they were asked to leave, they left and then went and had dessert across the street. She also reiterated that, I guess, Caller has contacted them several times and that it has been a back and forth conversation and not one-sided. I do not have any contact information for Redacted, and I was not able to make contact with another Redacted. I did advise all subjects that I spoke with that this would be put into a report. I also advised all of them that they should no longer have contact with Caller. I also advised Caller and Redacted that they should no longer have contact with these subjects. Caller advised me that they have videos. I provided them with a community contact to add those videos to Axon evidence. Those videos should be added. I watched some of the videos that Caller provided to me. While watching the videos from Arizona and the contacts from Idaho, I did not see anything that was threatening or intimidating. Caller, however, does feel intimidated due to the fact she's had several contacts with them, and it seems to be escalating, in her opinion. Conclusion. This report is a summary of the conversations I had with these subjects. It was written to the best of my recollection, yada, yada. Oh, and this is the statement they actually penned out. A group of women have been harassing, stalking, and cyberbullying me from their names are, etc. I am a podcast host / reporter who covers criminal trials. Whatever was my producer and whatever was a contractor who did graphic design. We fired Redacted and months later sent her a cease and desist due to defamation in regards to hearing from professionals who stated things she was saying. In Maricopa County, okay. Oh, on April 9th, inside an Arizona courthouse, Redacted approached me about her hurt feelings. She recorded me in the courthouse while there was no record order in play. Once I learned this, I requested she not share my private convos, and after numerous texts, I blocked her, and she resorted to email. I then requested Redacted not contact me again because I felt concerned for my safety and her sharing my private conversations. Email will be in evidence. Okay. Continue to film. Oh, okay. Someone approached me. I started recording approached me at the Arizona courthouse. I started recording for my safety, and one morning as I attempted to enter the courthouse for trial, reporting on Lori Daybell, on April 15, 2025, she approached me. I asked her to leave me alone and recorded the incident on 2 separate recordings. The bailiffs at the courthouse saw these videos and requested Redacted to stay away from me. Once I went home to Nevada, a cyber bullying campaign was launched by all women on TikTok and Instagram. Redacted was the face, but she used videos and photos of the other women listed who also commented to back up the bullying campaign. If you have to keep writing campaign and shit after stuff too, I want to say that that's kind of a manipulation tactic. Because then you make it sound like this is intended all for a purpose and it's all about you. When chances are that none of that's true. Just saying. My opinion. I had never responded to the incessant attacks, although painful, including suggesting I wanted to harm my dying baby brother. Anyone who calls their brother a baby brother at that age is just creepy, in my opinion. Whatever. Redacted all appear and comment in internet bullying. Now, at Koberger's sentencing, I continue to do my work without drama or giving them air or attention while they continue to film, harass, or get angry. Attention while they continue to angry. I asked for a seat at a press conference tonight while eating dinner. We started filming because I felt fearful. They approached my table while, okay, whatever. For months, there has been a small group of girls who have been harassing my boss, both in person and online, and following her state to state to physically approach and intimidate her. It started when Redacted approached Lauren in the courthouse, filming her when there was a no filming rule. After the interaction, I witnessed Redacted receive threatening phone calls. Then, a couple days later, Redacted approached my boss at the courthouse following her in. Because she was being threatening, the bailiffs moderators, what? The bailiffs made her stay away or they would remove her. Then Redacted would continue to try and linger near my boss, so I always stayed nearby to try and keep Redacted away if I saw her. I would just tell Redacted I saw her, and she would walk away because she is scared. What the fuck? What am I? Oh my God. Then in June, they launched a TikTok page about my boss. Redacted started it after, I guess, my boss told her to leave her alone and never contact her again. And in June, Redacted continued to follow my boss around the courthouse in Arizona. Lori, whatever, I don't know, are all involved in that TikTok. Today at court, we were looking for seats, very limited, in the press. Okay. Press conference room at the ADA County Courthouse. Asked if a seat was available. My boss asked if a seat was available, and Redacted started yelling at her about a cease and desist she had sent to Redacted. After that, Redacted was putting a camera up a couple feet from my face to intimidate me. I ignored, and she continued filming me outside. Then at dinner tonight, we noticed Redacted filming my boss and me. We did not know she was around prior. I guess my boss turned her camera on for safety, and all of a sudden, Redacted came up from behind us, yelling at us and trying to intimidate. Like, picture this actually going down like this in your head. Like, you're just sitting there having dinner. These two chicks just come up and start recording you. So for your safety, you then turn on your camera, and as you do that, two people come up from behind you, just yelling at you. And you're just sitting there like, oh my God, what did I do to deserve this? Oh my God. Like, oh my, that's comedy. There should be a scene in a movie. I'd laugh my ass off at that. I really would. Huh. I think I just had an idea. Trying to intimidate us. The waiter came over and we asked him to make Redacted leave. Redacted had finally walked away by then. Then they all walked to the restaurant across the street and sat there watching us to wait for us. Our waiter let us stay. I saw them there because I had walked out for a phone call and saw Redacted sit up and move like she was going to approach me. At this point, I'm fearful for my safety and fearful for my boss's safety. They follow us state to state with one intention: to stalk, intimidate, and harass us. That's 3. You listed 3 things there. That's not one intention. That's 3. To stalk, intimidate, and harass. That's 3 things. So that just doesn't make sense. They were showing a clear pattern. They are showing a clear pattern of escalation with every unwanted and unwarranted contact they make. I love how the other people can determine whether that's warranted. Anyway. Okay. On that note, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm still really not feeling good, but I want to just cover this here for a minute. I want to come on and say hi. It's Saturday night, and I'm not working. I'm not out or anything tonight, so I am going to go to bed shortly, though. I have to work tomorrow. But anyway, thanks for being here, everyone. Why can't? There we go. Sorry. Like I said, I'm still sick. Thanks for being here, everyone. I am going to, I don't know, I'm going to do a live stream or something again soon when I can stay longer. When I'm not coughing in the microphone constantly. When I'm not sniffling, whatever. But it may be a few days. I don't know. But thanks for being here, everyone. And check out my new video if you haven't seen it. I pull out the entitlement translator again. So, yeah. Have a good night, everyone. See you around. What? No, that's not what I wanted. Shit. No, cancel. I don't know how to end a stream. Bye.